Let's get this rocking.
All right.
Let's get up in it.
Live.
Let me just get this.
All right. Before Dave begins, this is our final podcast. That is going to be what I'm going to
Instagram just alerting us to we're live over there. Hold on 1 second.
check the sound.
Checking.
Is Wayne doing this for me?
Yeah. I don't know why it takes so long for Facebook and the rest of the streaming devices to go live over here. It's pretty wild. There's a delay. Come on now.
Hey, you want to get a little conspiratorial at the beginning while we're waiting? Do you think that Facebook actually was created by Zuckerberg? I'm going to give you a little piece of advice.
I'm listening.
Go take a look for there was a thing. It was called what the heck was the name of it now? It was
I'm not sure that we're live right now on the streaming. It says we're live over there, but
Okay.
I can't see it here.
well, good. Well, I'm keeping them busy.
Instagram, thank you so much for being so patient with us over here today. It is, what day is today, Mike?
Monday.
Monday.
But
But
I want to finish my.
I'm sorry,
thought.
finish your thought. Yes.
Yeah. So basically,
Sorry.
there was a thing. It was called LifeLog. Take a look. LifeLog. It was DARPA, which is a government entity. DARPA created LifeLog. If you do a little bit of research on it, the day Facebook was created is the same day that DARPA ended LifeLog.
No kidding.
So it's
Wow,
a little
hold on a
hard.
second.
It's a little hard to believe that he created it all on his own when the government had LifeLog and it fused right into Facebook.
I just realized what was going on over here. We had to update the Facebook on here because of some password stuff.
All right. Well, this was a very short podcast here right now.
It was just the beginning.
Is it
Hold on a
over?
second. So right now I'm gonna take one of these out. Thank you all for being so patient with us over here. This is funny. It's saying that it's working. And I'm gonna do.
Well, while you're looking that up, I can actually show you right now. I'll go to LifeLog right now,
Hold on a
just to
second.
kill time.
Hold on a second.
Dave, you keep getting that ready. I'm just going to keep talking here for a second.
Just for a minute, everybody. Thank you so much for your patience in our delay over here.
When did LifeLog end? February 4th of 2004.
No
February 4th of 2004 is when LifeLog ended. Now let's try this. When did Facebook when was Facebook created?
Hold on, buddy. I'm almost there. I know what we got
Oh,
going on.
February 4th, 2004.
Is that right?
I'm reading it. February 4th, 2004.
That's
Cambridge,
pretty wild.
Massachusetts. So I don't believe in the coincidences on that, guys. I think it was part of the government monitoring, and that's where they went.
Conspiracy theory?
Well, it's not. I mean, it's not. It's fact.
I'm not
How
disagreeing
do you
with
end one thing that's LifeLog, which was logging all of our lives, and now you go into Facebook, which
Absolutely.
is basically logging all our lives. The only difference is we're now entering all the information in ourselves rather than them trying to do it for us. So
All right,
it's-
we are now. All right, we are
All
live.
right,
Thank you all so
God.
much for
Ooh,
being
I'm
so
sweating.
patient. Welcome, everybody, to the Intro to Crypto. It's Monday with Michael Cristoforo and David Lamel here, Team Powerhouse Global Banker. Michael Cristoforo, your mortgage phenomena in the world, as everybody knows him. But we're here to talk about crypto. And today's podcast specifically is on something very special. XDC. Have you heard of it? Do you know what it is? It's important to get to know XDC on a very personal level because XDC. Hey there, C. Gray. Thank you so much, Mike. You're so fun. He's so fun. Enough talk, Mike. Time to go with XDC. You're exactly right. We're going to talk about XDC. It's a fantastic crypto that if you haven't learned about or know about, it is something very, very important about it. It's the sleeper. It's the sleeper that is going to shake things up, and it is very reasonable to buy. Right now, XDC is at 9.5 cents roughly per share. If you don't own XDC and you feel like you want to buy something that's going to have a great long-term hold, XDC is a great play for you. So thank you everybody to being a part of the show today. We appreciate you, love you, and hopefully you're learning and enjoying. Remember, most importantly, this is not financial advice. Do your research, right? Make sure you're learning as much as you can. This is the intro to crypto. Again, Mike and I are doing this because we want to make sure you out there have a chance to learn something you've never heard before. Maybe you heard it before, or two, like that's way above my pay scale. I'm not getting involved. I don't understand. But now you have a chance to learn and be a part of what history is going to be made over the next few years, and you have a chance to be involved in it. So again, thank you for joining us every Monday and Friday doing this. Michael, XDC, the sleeping giant of crypto. Well, everyone's talking about Bitcoin and Ethereum, right? Everybody heard of Bitcoin and Ethereum. There's a coin that's quietly building the rails for real world finance. It's called XDC, and it just might be the most undervalued asset in crypto. Just like you thought about XRP being undervalued and it's making some moves, XDC is right behind it, waiting to happen. So let's talk about what XDC is. It is a native token of the XFin network, a hybrid blockchain combining the power of public and private blockchains. Built for enterprises, it is specifically designed for global trade, finance, tokenization of real-world assets. Eco-friendly, XD uses a delegated proof of stake, also known as DPoS, consensus, lightning fast and extremely low energy consumption. Think of it like Ethereum, but customized for banks, governments, and supply chains. All right, so XDC, Michael, let's talk a little about XDC. This is some, very important information we're sharing with people. Smart contracts and tokenization, right?
Yep.
Let's talk a little about that, please.
What's going to end up happening is that some of these tokens, when these smart contracts come in place, it's basically going to be autonomous. That, for example, we're going to talk about shipping later, but imagine that you have a shipping container and the billing has to be done. Well, imagine that as soon as that ship comes to dock, that smart contract finishes up and it's already automatically programmed that when it arrives, all the money gets released. So those are the kind of smart contracts that we're talking about that are behind the scenes on something like an XDC that can really be amazing.
It's speeding up in that same, we're going to talk about this later, speeding up the process of merchandise coming in and payment going out.
But having it be self-sufficient and with a smart contract, that's all programmed in. So when we do this and this arrives, then that automatically happens. So there's no more like, hey, when you're going to cut me a check. That's what's really sort of cool, is that it's all automated and it happens automatically when certain things are met.
Ultra low fees, 2-second transaction speed, that fast. ISO 20022 compliant, making it bank and SWIFT friendly. Very important today with the ISO 20022. Real world cases, trade finance, Finex, the global platform on XDC for trade finance, bridges small, medium businesses to investors without needing banks. Tokenized bonds, governments and institutions using XDC to issue regulatory compliant digital bonds. Cargo X, supply chain, shipping, companies using XDC to track goods, sign contracts, and make payments in real time on chain, just what you're talking about. So it's all about making things more efficient, faster, and less expensive. And with the blockchain, of course, as we're learning, the blockchain allows everything to be there forever from memory. It's not like someone's going to erase something on a document or paper gets lost. We can't find the sheets for what's coming in. We don't have where it came from and how it's getting there and where it came, what places it went to. right? It has it's a boom. It's on there forever.
Yeah. You know, I had an appliance that needed to be repaired today. I went to the appliance repairman. One thing led to another. We ended up talking about crypto for over an hour, and
It happens.
and I was explaining to him the efficiencies of crypto, and he basically was going back saying, well, that's going to put a lot of people out of work. It's true. It's going to put a lot of people out of work. There will be new jobs that get created.
Right.
But like I said to him, I said, it's sort of funny. I said, you sort of remind me of an individual when the car first came out, and he was saying, but we have horses. Why do we need cars?
Right.
You know, we have horses. We don't need the cars. And I said, this is just a natural progression of where things are going.
But it's also more than just efficiency. It's about saving money, saving time. You know, everybody, if you said saving time, people would say, oh, I don't mind taking my time doing something.
Right.
But when it comes to saving lots and lots of money, that's where things come into play in the business world, because if you can save money and save time, that becomes valid and important to businesses as a whole. Businesses are always trying to find a way to save money, right? You either make more money on each transaction or bring more transactions in, right? So that's business 101. And if you can save money by creating more business happening because you don't have the delays in between, that's what makes the XDC ledger, the blockchain, so important. Let's talk about, let's see. Did I read this part already? I think I do. Yeah. XDC is integrated with R3 Corda, a platform used for major banks worldwide. Did you know about that? I don't know much about that myself. The R3 Corda, that's news to me, new thing I've never heard of before, enables interbank settlements using XDC. Listen, not everything we're talking about do we always know the answers to, so it's something to look into. What is R3 Corda?
R3 Corda, actually, it's sort of funny. I can tell you a little bit about it.
Yes.
They have been around for a long time. R3 Corda had an agreement with Ripple to buy 5 billion of their 100 billion.
No kidding.
So they had it, and the price took off, and they reneged a little bit, and they only sold them 100. They sold them 1 billion rather than the 5 billion.
Is that right?
So Corda is yes, Corda's been around for a long time. They have a lot going on. They're also working with XRP. They're working with Zinfin. Not going anywhere.
This is not speculation. XDC is solving billion-dollar inefficiencies in real-world systems. So again, look up XDC, read about it, understand what XDC is. Where it was starting a few years ago was maybe 3 cents a share. You're now at 9.5 cents a share, and this is something that's going to go up. Now, when you look at something going up, you're like, well, how much is it going to go up and how fast is it going to go up? Here's what I tell myself in my mind. I'm going to look at a 10-year time period on everything here. But realistically, if you're watching and listening what's happening in the crypto digital space world, you're talking about within the end of this year, what's going to happen and changes being made. In the next 5 to 6 years, how the evolution of the blockchain and crypto and digital assets is going to be like completely changing the whole system. Jimmy Bolger, thank you so much for joining over here, buddy. Good to see you this weekend. The intro to crypto, and a very smart man, by the way, Jimmy Bolger. Great guy too. Great guy. Why XDC is a hidden gem. And by the way, Jimmy, and you, anybody else out there have any questions, please let us know what's going on. We want to get to you as well. So we appreciate you guys listening. PK crew, thank you for joining. Hey guys, again, everybody who's got questions out there about crypto, even if it's something we're not talking about, please let us know. We love that you're watching.
I want to say something. You know, before this began today, we were talking, and a lot of people are going to feel like they are, on the XRP, at $3.50. They're going to feel like they can't really have much of a bag.
Right.
And that's one of the reasons why we're sort of spending some of this time talking about some other cryptos. Not that they are our favorite, but they are something that you can pick up a really big bag without costing a lot of money. So, which I think is important.
Absolutely. We all know, again, Bitcoin, $117,000, $120,000 a coin. Most of us can't afford that. You can buy bits and pieces of it. But if you buy and invest in Bitcoin today, your margin of a value increasing, if it goes up $10,000, you're going to make, if you bought, let's say $100, you're going to make $10 on it. But if you go and you buy, let's say you can afford XRP, we just jumped up for a second, at $3.50, we know that's going to go into the hundreds and higher and thousands and yada, yada over time. So there are things that will be pricing you out based on what you can afford. And like Michael was just saying, there are things that you can buy that are tremendously important called blue chip coins that if you buy them now over the next 5 to 10 years, it's going to be a massive change in value for you and your life and your future and your family. So XDC is one of those where it's at 9.5 cents a share. The ability to pick up 10,000 shares of XDC is much more affordable. Again, you don't have to have 10,000, but I always look at every coin. 10,000 should be your kind of nice bag, right? That's what's 10,000 divided by 9.5 cents.
It'd be $9,500.
Is that
right now to have 10,000?
No,
right?
No.
Or is that
900? So 0.95, right?
Yeah, you can tell I'm in the mortgage business.
10,000. You're exactly right. $9,500. Wow, holy shit.
To have 10,000 of them.
All right, so. But the point is, you want to invest whatever you can. Get yourself some great blue chip coins.
Put it down to a third, even if if it ends up going, even if you got 2,000 or 3,000, that's still going to get you a good bag, a lot bigger bag than you're going to get with the XRP now.
It is true.
Not that I don't think, like I said, XRP is a better token, in my opinion, with
a shorter period of time and the functionality of what it's doing. Yes,
but I expected great things with XDC.
So why is XDC a hidden gem? Market cap undervalued, still under the radar compared to XRP, XLM, and ETH. Institutional adoption is getting attention from governments and global banks.
I just was thinking about this. Don't forget, XDC is not even on Coinbase yet. So it's based out of Singapore. It's not even on Coinbase. It will be on Coinbase. It's just a matter of when. So when it goes on Coinbase, that's probably an automatic 100. It's going to be an automatic double from where you are.
Mr. Gray says, where do you see the price of XDC in the next 5 years? So I'm gonna throw a number out there.
Let's hear what your number is.
I see XDC over the next 5 years in the ballpark of probably $25. Would that be a long shot, you think? I think that's somewhat fair.
Yeah, I think that's possibility. I would have thrown out half that, but that's okay. Going from 9 cents to $12, I'll be thrilled with that.
Good point.
So 25 sounds better, but
Michael, I've been pretty good on my targets so far.
Yeah, but yours are short term. Usually yours are within the week.
Hold on, I called out XRP going to 250. I called it out going to $3. I said by the end of next week, XRP will be at $4. I'm saying that. I said it last week.
That's for this week, you mean?
By the end of this week, I see XRP at $4. Very close, if not at $4. Crazy, right? XRP broke its record, by the way, at 362. I think it's been up to. And by the way, when you look up XRP and it says $3.80 was the high, I want you all to know that was a fake out. That was a opportunity where it went to 380. You couldn't buy it or sell it at that price when it happened for a split second. So that's why I say that, and I listen to Avi Lovo, they're one of the guys I listen to. It was not real at 380 as opposed to
they just basically cleaned out the market.
It went up and down in 1 second. Yeah, exactly.
Well, this is the problem if you're going to be buying this stuff, you don't really, if you put that on there, you might actually end up getting sold out.
Right.
That's why, it's the same thing with stocks, to be honest with you. I don't really do a lot with the limits, but they probably cleared out a bunch of people that just wanted it.
The important thing is you're buying crypto today, in our opinion, is not to be a day trader. We're looking at this as you're holding on to it. If you own something, you're holding on to it for the long game. The long game to me is 5 to 10 years. That's a long game where, there are things, there's so many ways to talk about this because when people buy stocks, right? Mm-hmm. They buy stocks, they have no idea what they're buying every week. It comes out of their paycheck, a portion of their paycheck. They're buying ETFs, they're buying whatever they're buying. No one ever looks at their stocks. Oh, no, I should say nobody. Not many people look at their stocks every day, how much it goes up, what's happening with it. When you hear about the market going up, you take a peek and you look and see what's going on there, right? but you're not buying stocks with the intention of selling it when you hear it go up. The same thing with your crypto. You're not looking to buy it with the intention of selling it. You're buying this with the intention of having something even more valuable in the future, something to have to hold on to that's going to pay you back dividends, that's going to give you a chance to change your life. I tell people all the time what each person's life change could be: buying a car, buying a house, paying for your kids' college, having a chance to vacation on a regular basis and enjoy life with your family. Each person's hopes and dreams are different, right? I know that we're workaholics, and even when things start to happen, we're still going to be working to some degree. We just might change how we're working or what we're doing in our work life, and that's how you have to look at yourself and how your ability to live life and enjoy it is going to be different. All right, I got sidetracked over here. Jimmy Bulger, if you have any questions out there, please throw them at us over here. I'd love to hear from you as well. Let's talk about some more stuff with XDC over here. Institutional adoption is getting attention from governments and global banks. Regulatory ready, ISO 20022 compliant, making it primed for the future of digital finance. And everybody, that ISO 20022 is now the standard for all banks all over the world. Has to be now ISO compliant. If crypto is building a new financial system, XDC is laying the concrete foundation. That's pretty strong. I like that, right? The concrete foundation, like building a house, right? You got to have a good foundation. If you have a good foundation, guess what happens? You're going to have a great structure ahead of you because you now have something that's sturdy, well built.
Yeah, you want to talk about the crumbling foundations in northern Connecticut for the people around the.
No more crumbling foundations when it comes to crypto because of the foundation being so strong. It's been listen, they've been building this whole structure for the last 15 years, where not many people have been paying attention to it. We go back into how many people actually involved in crypto in the entire world. About 6%. I think I looked up 6 or 7% now. It's up to in the entire world. So if you're getting involved in this now, you're ahead of so many others. And there are people who are involved in it that don't talk about it because they don't know who else is involved in it to talk about, to share that conversation with. When you and I talk to people out there, like the guy today, the laundryman, or not the laundryman, the mechanic, whatever it was, you talk about it, you ask it, do you know about crypto? I was in the gym this morning, and one of my buddies who's he's involved in the stock market. He's a trader kind of thing. So I said to him, you own any crypto? And he looked at me and kind of said, well, yeah, of course. And, because he's not supposed to talk about that kind of stuff. So not supposed to be involved in it. And, he's excited by the fact that these ETFs that are coming and the spot ETFs specifically, like an XRP. All right, I get sidetracked again.
No, you're good.
Going back to XDC, investing opportunity and closing thoughts over here. Scarcity, max supply is 37.5 billion, with most tokens already in circulation, limiting future inflation.
Let's stop for a second on that. 37.5 billion, most are in right now XRP. We love it even more so than this, but XRP has 100 billion, and they still have about
half,
45-ish, 43 billion still in escrow that still have to come out
because every bank is going to be buying up so much of it.
I don't argue with you on any of that, but I'm just pointing out that this has got a supply that's 1/3 of where XRP is. So it's not like it's a bigger supply. It's 1/3 of 1/3 of the supply almost of where XRP is.
It's crazy.
And by the way, where do you buy it? Uphold. So if you're wondering where to get it, that's the easiest exchange to get it on.
I'm going to get you guys out there, if possible, a link for Uphold that'll help you and help me out as well. I'm going to work on getting a link out there for you guys because I think it'll be very nice to have an easy link to the Uphold app. It's a great app, very, very secure. And if you have questions about it, please don't hesitate to ask. With XDC, it's a low entry point still. It's under 10 cents. It's a fraction of its future. DeFi and a real fi. You're not just buying a coin, you're buying infrastructure. Future catalyst, institutional partnerships, tokenized assets, boom. I want to jump into some over here, this stuff that we talked about a little earlier with the speed count. So speed and fees of XDC. So everything's about speed and cost, right? XDC transactions per second, 2,000 transactions per second.
It's better than XRP.
It is.
You know,
ETH
XRP is 12 or 1,400,
right?
So that's
Ethereum
significant.
is 15 to 30 seconds. XDC fees are 0.0001. ETH fees, Ethereum fees are $10 to $50 during congestion. That's crazy. And look what Ethereum is doing this past couple of weeks. It went up, I think, $500 in the past couple of weeks. So if you look at Ethereum versus XDC and the amount it's gone up in such a short period of time, what XDC is going to do is going to be mind-boggling.
It's going to be mind-boggling. The more the key is everything is going to be priced properly. The more adoption they have and the more stuff runs on those rails of XDC. So it obviously is not running the stuff that Ethereum is running right now. So that's the reason why Ethereum's going for 3,500 or 3,700 and XDC is going for 10 cents. But it's where it's going to be that we expect great things as this whole crypto market evolves.
One of the things we kind of started talking about was exactly how XDC is being utilized right now. So shipping containers all over the world, right, that are coming in on these huge barges, they're all using now XDC, okay? So what does that mean to you? That means that in order for ships, which are sitting and waiting to get into port, right, they can't get into port till the ship that's come in gets
That's all the paperwork.
All the paperwork, right? Gone through all the containers to verify that each of those things are there, right? They're checking these things in, which is a very, very time-consuming process. So
I heard that it can be up to 30 days with a ship waiting for the paperwork to follow up with it.
That's crazy.
You know, so the fact that you don't have any of that because it's all digital and it's all instantaneous, it actually changes everything. And that was with the protocol of the law, the MLETR.
You know, we haven't talked about the MLETR yet at all. And I know I had some notes on it over here, so please forgive me.
Okay.
Is that right? Okay. So let's talk about what is MLETR. MLETR stands for the Model Law on Electronic Transferable Records created by Infistructure, the United Nations Commission on International Trade Law. In simple terms, MLETR makes it legally valid for key trade documents like bills of lading, promissory notes, warehouse receipts to exist in digital form, not just on paper. That's so important to know.
That's huge for all these ships to go around the world. I mean, it's amazing to think of how many trees they had to kill just for all these ships going to and from the world.
But that's
craziness.
But that's how we lived. Paper was the most important asset in schools, and it's all changing. We don't have paper. You know, in school, my son, I don't think he had a notebook while he was in college for 4 years. Everything was on an iPad. So how much paper change has happened over the years?
Good point.
You know, how it works with XDC. Talk about this. XDC is one of the first blockchains to be compliant and aligned with MLETR through its trade finance platforms and integrations like CargoX and DCI, digital contracting infrastructure. Here's how they work together. Digitizing trade documents. MLETR allows physical documents like a bill of lading to become legally recognized digital versions. The XDC blockchain records and transfers these digital documents, are tracked, timestamped, and transferred on XDC blockchain, ensuring authenticity, ownership, and immutability.
Which means you can't change it. It's immutable.
Can't change it. We talked a lot about XDC. Hopefully you're getting the gist. XDC, a great crypto coin to invest in. You're at 9.5 cents today. How many can you buy? Take up $100, take $1,000, take $10, take whatever you can afford to buy. Pick up some XDC. I think we're gonna have to get back into HBAR next week. Maybe we'll talk about on Friday. Pick it up. The crypto market is, by the way, really, really, it's vibrating right now. There are so many things waiting to happen with the government and processes. You're buying now at an entry point that is much lower than it's going to be in the very near future.
When all the big boys come in, because all the big boys are coming.
And by the big boys, Michael's talking about once it becomes
institutions.
Exactly, institutional adoption, because as these things become involved in, there's so many things happening, different pieces that are happening at once. You have the ETFs for crypto, right? So once that happens, all the people who want to buy crypto but don't feel comfortable buying it on an Uphold or a Kraken or a crypto or a Coinbase, whatever, they want to buy it through their stockbroker. That's going to bring millions and millions of dollars globally to these crypto assets. Billions, which is going to drive the price of these crypto assets that you can buy now at pennies in the dollar, okay? And it's going to be mind-blowing what's going to happen. That's number one. Number two, what's happening with the governments and how they're using these items? Banks all over the world, going back to XRP, for example, are going to be buying hundreds and millions of XRP in order to use the system. And if you understand what XRP is, going back to XRP, in order for banks to have millions of transactions, the cost value of XRP has to be high in order for it to function even more smoothly. Can you kind of touch on that a little bit as to why it needs such a large number value?
Yeah. Real simply, let's say the bank needs to move $1 million. Do they want to move 1 million tokens at $1 each? Or would they rather move 5 tokens at $200,000 each? And that's the whole thing. So there needs to be a high price to move less.
It opens up, it basically takes something that's this small and you're making it this big to be that much more inside it to have the transactions happen.
Yeah,
that kind of visual analogy.
You know, everyone's, you know, David Schwartz, who was he's the chief technological officer for XRP for Ripple. Oops. What does he say? He says it needs to be a high price. It was designed to have a high price. So $3.50 today is not considered a high price for these banks. It's going to be high.
It needs to be in the hundreds and thousands of dollars, the XRP value, in order for banks to use it so efficiently.
Yeah.
And that's why we know that XRP is going to go through the roof. It's just a matter of time because all these banks are buying as much as they can behind the scenes. You don't even know it's happening. No one's talking about it. How much the government owns. Let's talk about Bitcoin for a second.
Mm-hmm.
The government's been buying Bitcoin for a long time now, or let's just say the last 6 months. They've been buying it so much in order to have the Federal Reserve, right, hold Bitcoin to be the
to have it be one part of the
Federal Reserve, right?
Part of the reserve.
So, but now you're seeing the Bitcoin go from, it was around the ballpark of I think $80,000 or $90,000, go to 100, as high as $128,000. Okay, and that is happening because of all of a sudden, boom, we found out that the government's involved in buying all of it, right? You have this XRP, I go back to XRP all the time, that is happening. All the banks all over the world are buying XRP, and they're buying millions and millions of it. Once it comes out, and you hear about it in the news, which will be probably 6 months later, wait till November, by the way, you'll find out how much it went up because of what happened, and you didn't know about it. You're going to wish you bought it now in that November.
Everybody's talking about how they wish they bought it 6 months ago.
That's right.
And the people that bought it, the people that bought it 5 years ago wish they bought it. Everybody wishes they bought it from somebody else before that.
Right.
So It's not the end. I don't think it's the end at all.
The very beginning.
Yeah, we're still at the beginning. So someday someone will look back and they'll say, you bought XRP at $3.50, or you bought XDC at 9.5 cents. This is what's going to end up happening. People are going to look back and they're going to say the same thing that Bitcoin say.
Bitcoin, when it was 11 cents or $1, or you heard someone talk about Bitcoin, you're like, it's not for me. It's bogus stuff. And you only wish you would have put $1,000 into it. And it went from 1,000 to 120-something $1,000 in the last X amount of years. And that, by the way, is 15 years. The accelerated time travel that is happening now. What happened in the last 15 years took so long just to become something that's being talked about. Now it's in the government. Our country is involved in it. Our country wants to be the crypto capital of the world. And if they want to be the crypto capital of the world, guess what's going to happen? They're going to have to own a lot of it. In order to own a lot of it, that means the value is going to go higher and higher and higher. You need to understand that. That's business 101.
And this is the best performing, Bitcoin was the best performing asset in the world over the last 10 years. I think it was 8 out of the 10 years, Bitcoin was number one. So,
and XRP will do what it did.
Well, everything follows. Everything follows. So if Bitcoin's the big boy, clearly digital assets across the board.
Things to keep an eye on. We're going to throw them out there again. XRP, HBAR, XDC, XLM, Flare, FLR, Algorand, ALGO, Solana, SOL. Anything else?
Yeah, you sort of priced. I mean, even the Solana sort of priced out now.
Yeah,
you can't buy much. It's,
that's right.
A couple, You're not going to buy much for it.
Look at these ones we're talking about. And these are what they call blue chip tokens. These are the ones that I'll call it your safe bets, right? And they're the ones that you're not buying meme coins. Listen, did I happen to buy a couple meme coins for fun? Yes. Did I go in with the intention of it because I expected to do something? No. But I figured, why not? TG Farms, we won't see any significant price action until XDC makes it to mainstream exchanges. I like
That's
that.
why we're buying it now. That's exactly why. Because when it gets on the exchanges, you won't be getting it for the price that you're getting it now. That's why we mentioned.
That was extremely well said. And that's why you want to buy it today before that happens. Because once it happens, and you'll wish you bought it then. Great point you made over there, my friend. Thank you so much for being a part of the show. Michael Cristoforo, David Lamel here, the Intro to Crypto. We will see you Friday. Thank you so much for joining us every week. We appreciate being a part of your lives. Keep sharing our information. Share our podcast with your friends and family. Let them know we're doing this. It's on Mondays and Fridays. We are in the ballpark between 4:30 and 5 to become live. If you miss our show, you can always watch it later on. YouTube is a great place to find it. Facebook, Instagram, and so many other places. Whatever you like, share it, like it. Give us a like, please. Give us a like. Hit a like on that. It means a lot to us, whether you're on any platform. Let us know you're listening. And please continue to ask questions and be a part of everything that's happening here. Hope you're learning. Hope you're enjoying. And thank you so much. We'll see you Friday.
Bye.
In the stream here.